This packet is in your hand right now. You're about to drink it. You think it's energy boost. You think it's study aid. You think it's safe. But this packet contains more caffeine than 3 espresso cups combined. And young people in Southeast Asia are having heart attacks from energy drink powders. Emergency room visits for energy drink overdose have increased 500% in 5 years. Young people experiencing cardiac arrhythmias. Some dying from sudden cardiac death. But the warning labels don't exist. The marketing targets students and gamers explicitly. The formulas are designed to be addictive. Today we're investigating 3 of Southeast Asia's most popular energy drink powder brands: Red Bull, Powerade, and F&N bubble tea powder. Together they control 67% of Southeast Asia's energy drink market. 500 million people consume them daily. What we discovered is disturbing. One packet exceeds safe caffeine for young people. The combinations are designed to be addictive. The marketing targets the most vulnerable. By the end of this video, you'll understand why energy drink powders are a cardiac crisis destroying young Southeast Asia. Red Bull is Thai. Bangkok-based. The global energy drink leader. In Southeast Asia, it owns 25% market share. 300 million packets sold yearly in the region. The brand is ubiquitous. Every street vendor. Every convenience store. Every gym. Every student carrying a packet. The marketing is genius. Wings, energy, performance. The imagery is youth-focused. Athletes. Gamers. Students. The slogan is action-oriented. It gives you wings. The messaging is subtle but targeted. This drink will make you perform better. This drink will make you stronger. This drink is essential to success. But here's what you need to know. One packet of Red Bull energy powder contains 200 to 250 milligrams of caffeine. For context, one espresso cup is 63 to 75 milligrams. One packet is equivalent to 3 to 4 espresso cups. The safe caffeine limit for teenagers is 100 milligrams daily. One packet exceeds the teenage limit by 2 to 2.5 times. Red Bull's formula isn't just caffeine. It contains taurine, which is an amino acid. 5 grams per packet. It contains guarana, which is additional caffeine source from plant. It contains ginseng, which is stimulant. The combination is synergistic. Caffeine plus taurine creates cardiovascular stress. The combination is designed to maximize stimulation. The sugar content is 25 to 30 grams per packet. The WHO recommends 25 grams of sugar daily for adults. One packet of Red Bull is approximately one entire day's sugar allowance. For young people, the recommendation is lower. Children should consume 0 added sugar ideally. One packet puts a young person at maximum daily sugar limit before any other food or drink. For someone consuming one packet daily, that's 200 to 250 milligrams of caffeine plus taurine plus guarana plus ginseng plus 25 to 30 grams of sugar. The cardiovascular stress is continuous. The body is under perpetual stimulation. The documented cardiac risk is real. Taurine combined with high-dose caffeine causes arrhythmias in some individuals. The risk is higher in young people with undiagnosed conditions. Someone with long quart syndrome, for example, might not know they have the condition until they have a heart attack from Red Bull. Young people consuming Red Bull 2 to 3 packets daily, which is common among students and gamers, are consuming 400 to 750 milligrams of caffeine daily. That's beyond dangerous. That's the level where documented sudden cardiac deaths occur. The addiction component is real. Red Bull's formula is designed to be addictive. The combination of caffeine, taurine, guarana, and ginseng creates dependency. Young people starting consumption at age 12 to 14 can establish lifetime addiction patterns. Powerade is Korean. Global brand owned by Coca-Cola. In Southeast Asia, it has 22% market share. 250 million packets sold yearly. The marketing is sports-focused. Athletes. Performance. Energy for achievement. The brand positions itself as performance enhancer for active people. One packet of Powerade energy powder contains 180 to 220 milligrams of caffeine. That's slightly less than Red Bull. But the sugar content is higher. 30 to 35 grams of sugar per packet. That exceeds the WHO daily recommendation. For a single packet, Powerade's formula includes caffeine, B vitamins, and electrolytes. The electrolytes are marketed as sports hydration benefit. But the caffeine and sugar are the primary ingredients by volume. The B vitamins are minimal amounts that provide no meaningful nutritional benefit. The youth marketing is explicit. Powerade explicitly markets to students and gamers. The messaging emphasizes energy for performance, energy for gaming, energy for studying. The brand knows its primary consumers are teenagers and young adults. The marketing is designed to appeal to achievement mindset. For someone consuming 1 to 2 packets daily, that's 180 to 440 milligrams of caffeine plus 30 to 70 grams of sugar. The young person is establishing dependence patterns. They're creating lifelong consumption habits. By age 20, they've consumed thousands of packets. By age 30, the health consequences are visible. The addiction is real. Unlike Red Bull's complex formula with taurine and guarana, Powerade is simpler. Just caffeine, sugar, and marketing. But the simplicity doesn't make it safer. The high sugar content makes it particularly dangerous for long-term health. Dependency on high caffeine plus high sugar establishes obesity risk and type 2 diabetes risk in addition to cardiac risk. F&N bubble tea powder is Malaysian. It's positioned as milk tea. Harmless beverage. Comfort drink. Not energy drink. This positioning is the deception. The product contains caffeine and massive sugar. But because it's labeled as milk tea, consumers don't recognize it as energy drink. One serving of F&N bubble tea powder made with water and milk contains 80 to 120 milligrams of caffeine. Lower than Red Bull or Powerade. But the sugar content is 30 to 40 grams. That's 1.2 to 1.6 entire days recommended sugar in one cup. The marketing is genius. It's positioned as treat. Comfort. Relaxation. Mothers buy it for children thinking it's wholesome milk drink. Young people drink it thinking it's casual beverage. No one recognizes it as energy product with dangerous caffeine-sugar combination. The caffeine comes from tea powder. The sugar comes from instant powder formulation. The milk comes from creamer powder. When mixed, it appears innocent. It tastes pleasant. It seems like beverage, not drug delivery mechanism. But it's precisely that. Drug delivery mechanism disguised as milk tea. Young children drinking bubble tea powder daily are consuming 80 to 120 milligrams of caffeine plus 30 to 40 grams of sugar daily. They're establishing caffeine dependency in childhood. They're establishing sugar dependency simultaneously. They're creating dual addiction patterns. The health consequences are severe. Children developing caffeine dependency in childhood establish lifelong consumption patterns. Caffeine tolerance develops. Withdrawal symptoms occur when not consuming. Sugar dependency contributes to obesity and type 2 diabetes. The combination of early caffeine and sugar addiction creates metabolic dysfunction. The deception is most dangerous aspect. Because bubble tea is perceived as harmless, consumption is unregulated. Parents don't restrict it. Schools don't ban it. Young people consume daily without understanding risks. The product sits in convenience stores marketed as innocent beverage. But it's caffeine and sugar delivery system. The cardiovascular risk from energy drink powders is documented scientific fact. High-dose caffeine combined with taurine causes stress on cardiac system. The effects are immediate and cumulative. Caffeine increases heart rate and blood pressure. It stimulates the central nervous system. Taurine, found in Red Bull, intensifies the cardiac effects. The combination creates cardiovascular stress that can trigger arrhythmias in susceptible individuals. The risk is highest in young people because their cardiovascular systems are developing. A young person with undiagnosed long court syndrome, Brugada syndrome, or other cardiac condition might not know they have it until they have a cardiac event. Energy drink powder consumption can trigger that event. The documented cases are real. Emergency room visits for energy drink overdose have increased 500% in Southeast Asia over 5 years. Young people between 15 and 24 years old represent 70% of these cases. Some cases result in sudden cardiac death. The addiction mechanism is neurochemical. Caffeine blocks adenosine receptors in the brain. Adenosine normally signals fatigue. Blocking adenosine creates false sense of energy. Continuous caffeine use causes the brain to produce more adenosine receptors to compensate. This is physical adaptation. When caffeine is removed, the brain is flooded with adenosine signals. Withdrawal symptoms are severe. Headaches, fatigue, depression. The taurine and guarana compounds synergize with caffeine to create stronger addiction. The combination creates stronger reward signals in brain. The addiction is more severe than caffeine alone. The sugar component creates additional addiction through different mechanism. Sugar activates reward pathways in brain similar to drugs. Repeated consumption creates dopamine-based dependency. The combination of caffeine addiction and sugar addiction is dual dependency. Young people establishing these consumption patterns in adolescence create lifelong dysfunction. The brain developing during adolescence becomes dependent on the substance. Breaking the dependency as adult is extremely difficult. The marketing of energy drink powders explicitly targets young people. Students, gamers, athletes. The brands know adolescence is critical window for establishing lifetime consumption habits. Red Bull sponsors gaming tournaments. Young gamers see energy drink as essential to performance. Powerade sponsors student events and gym culture. Young students associate energy drink with academic achievement. F&N positions bubble tea as social beverage. Young people consume while hanging out with friends. The explicit marketing to youth is exploitation. The companies know the science of adolescent brain development. They know habits formed in adolescence become lifelong patterns. They're targeting the most vulnerable population intentionally. The messaging emphasizes performance and social connection. You'll study better. You'll game better. You'll be stronger. You'll fit in. The subtext is constant. Consume this product and you'll be successful. You'll be strong. You'll be cool. Young people are susceptible to this messaging. The health consequences for youth are severe. Early cardiovascular stress from high caffeine consumption creates long-term damage. The cardiac system is under stress during critical development period. The neurological effects of caffeine dependency in adolescence create adult addiction patterns. The sugar consumption in childhood establishes obesity risk and diabetes risk. Young people consuming high-sugar energy drinks daily develop metabolic dysfunction that persists into adulthood. The companies profit from this exploitation. They establish lifelong customers. A young person consuming energy drink daily from age 13 to 60 is lifetime profit generator. The health consequences are irrelevant to business model. The goal is profit. The health crisis is externality. 3 brands. 3 different marketing strategies. 1 universal problem. All dangerous. Especially for young people. Red Bull is explicit caffeine bomb. Powerade is sports exploitation. Bubble tea is deceptive disguise. 500 million Southeast Asians consume energy powders daily. Most don't realize the cardiac risk. They don't understand the addiction mechanism. They trust the brands. They consume the products. Emergency rooms fill with young people having cardiac events. If you consume energy drink powders, you need to understand the cost. Not financial cost. Health cost. Cardiac stress. Caffeine addiction. Sugar dependency. The young person consuming energy drinks daily establishes patterns that persist into adulthood. By age 40, the cardiovascular damage is done. Stop consuming energy drink powders daily. If you need energy, sleep more. Exercise regularly. Eat whole foods. Drink water. The natural approaches are slower, but they don't damage your heart. Subscribe for next investigation on instant protein powder. The heavy metal contamination is even more insidious. Like this if you didn't know energy drinks could cause heart attacks. Comment which energy drink you consume. Share with young people consuming energy powders daily. This is Asian Food Insider. Your heart is worth more than temporary energy.